are you doing with that?
I was changing my wall.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Let's volume up.
Yeah, they can't.
Give it a couple minutes, let everybody get logged on here.
My face showing? No, right?
Oh, no, it's just this.
Okay.
You guys been closing some arches or what? Selling some stuff?
I have.
Have you? Miss Vegas?
Yeah, I was so excited. I did everything. I looped. I went back. I reviewed. I showed scans, and I got 50.
Nice, nice, nice,
It's
nice.
always nice to go because it kind of reignites, you know, the feeling that I could do this.
Yeah. Oh, well. I know you can do it. No problem.
Hey, I'm just getting on.
Just
that.
giving everybody a second here to log on, guys.
Sorry, I didn't get to call you back. I was doing our change of our house.
Watching a series or something.
I'm in this meeting.
I've seen I don't drink.
Got one more, no, that one.
Right time.
I think there's somebody on this one.
All right, guys. How's everybody doing? Everyone doing good? Whatever. I've got you all muted, so it doesn't matter. I'll just pretend like everyone's doing awesome. Got a good call that I want to go through with you guys today. Good consultation. I'm just going to go through the third 10, go through a couple things there. I don't know if any of you guys were in Las Vegas this past weekend, but we had a really, really good course. And you guys in Las Vegas this weekend for TCI? Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? It was awesome. It was an awesome group. Everyone did really, really great out there. Hope everyone had fun. I'm going to go through and give you guys just like a little bit of background of this consultation. And then we're just going to review the third 10 and we're just going to review the close today. And I'll just kind of give you guys a little bit of background in terms of what happened during the first and the second 10. But one thing you're going to see kind of right off the bat, I want to make sure, guys, before you guys sit down for the third 10 to present the financials, you got to make sure we have one recommendation and that we know exactly what the pricing is going to be. Something that is a little bit cumbersome, if you will, it's something a little bit clunky, is when you're kind of working out the numbers in front of the patient. In terms of what the financing is and what this is and what that is. It just becomes a little an example of what I'm talking about. They had a second opinion in. This is Dr. Connolly's practice. They had a second opinion come in, and they were already pre-approved through proceed from a different practice. So I think they were approved for $24,000. So pre-approved, they came in for a second opinion, qualified, motivated. You had the husband was the patient, but you had the husband and the wife there, and all the urgency in the world. So they just really wanted to figure out a way to get this done. So the call actually lasted about an hour and a half. I'm going to show you guys some areas where I think this thing could have been done front to back, probably within 20-25 minutes. We did end up getting the deal done, but I'm going to show you a couple areas where I think we could have done a little bit better, especially on the close, because these guys happen to have a lot of urgency and be 100% ready to go. But I think there's a couple things that we can learn from this. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you.
Yep. And share with the sound. With the sound.
Okay. All right. So keep in mind, husband, wife, they already kind of knew what All-on-4 was. They already had another treatment plan for it. Double arch, they're only approved for $24,000. Okay. Dr. Connolly just left the room, and now we're going into the third 10. I think one thing we could have done actually a little bit better with Dr. Connolly also is just a little bit more clarity in terms of what exactly the recommendation is. He did a really good job telling them, hey, you're a great candidate. Everything looks good. I think we're going to get a great result. But they were just a little bit unclear as far as what the exact, like, what was the prosthetic, and exactly what was the recommendation. There was just a little bit of a lack of clarity there. So I'm going to play this starting from the third 10. You guys are muted, but like I said, if you got questions, just type them in or just unmute yourself. Okay.
To be written off.
Cassie.
Not Cassie, her mother.
Her mother is written off. That's what Brian's married.
Hey, that's Brian's friend.
Oh,
Oh, sorry about that.
no problem.
I was checking with our hygienist here. His doctor was with a patient.
Cool. Well, you gotta spread the good where there's good.
Yeah.
Might be a hurting business, but the whole object is to make people smile.
Exactly.
As bad as what my teeth are.
You guys see what's going on right now, like right off the bat? So doctor gave a recommendation. We come back in. What are we trying to do? We're trying to get their energy level what? Trying to get their energy level up. So we want to celebrate the candidacy immediately. We don't, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter what we need to input into the computer here or there. Like the first thing we have to do is get these people committed and ready to go, right? We need to close the deal right now. So you want to make sure when we sit back down after they've just got good news that, hey, you're a good candidate. I think this is going to work really well. This is what we would do. As soon as we sit back down, want to try to celebrate the candidacy and try to get them excited. Make sure that they are excited about what the doctor is recommending, and make sure that they are also excited about the doctor himself. But a good way to raise anxiety, guys, is to come back in the room without really saying a whole lot and just start typing into the computer with no dialogue. Because what happens to the patient? They start thinking what? Who knows, right? They're thinking, what is she doing, or what is she looking at, or what's going on? So you want to make sure that you pace and lead. So the first thing, always the main priority is communicate with the patient until we have full financial commitment. Right? Paperwork can wait, input can wait, everything can wait until we have full financial commitment from the patient.
I've had a lot of students too that were dentists that play guitar.
Really?
You have no idea how.
Really? Huh? That's interesting.
Over the years, I probably have had 50 dentists at least.
Wow.
My friend died. It was like going to a convention of friends, not just
I
professional
bet.
dentists. It
Yeah.
was
The
fun.
room was full of dentists. It was crazy.
Yeah, whatever, Jeffy. Whatever you say. Yeah. Oh.
This is why we have bundles pre-created, right? Like exactly for this reason. So if you have to go and input just to get a treatment plan to print out for the patient, it's just kind of awkward, right? I mean, all on four is all on four. So in the vast majority of cases, it's one arch, it's two arch. This is a hybrid. This is zirconia. Here's our surgery with our provisional, our scaled option. Here's our removable, whatever it is. Create the bundles. We have them in the folders, whatever it is that we're recommending, grab the folder and let's go. Right. I mean, it's like that fast. Everyone is on a timer, right, with these patients. And we want to make sure that we're pacing and leading and being efficient here.
Did anybody ever give you an idea of how long something like this lasts? Just a ballpark.
It should last, I mean, the rest of your life. I'm not sure on the time frame, like, exactly, but, it's
10,
basically.
15 years.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely gonna last the rest of his life, for sure.
And that right there, guys, that's exactly why when the doctor leaves, there's certain questions they might not ask the doctor just because they don't know if it's a dumb question or not, that they will ask you if you give them the opportunity. That's why we sit down, right? And we sit down, we look out and say, hey, congratulations. It's awesome. You know, you're a candidate for all on four. Doctor seems to feel really, really good about it. He's super excited. You know, how do you feel? You know, how do you feel about the doctor? How do you feel about the treatment? You have any questions? You know, and just like you're trying to get a pulse, you know what I mean? Right? Any type of any area in which the patient is uncertain is an area that we want to do a little bit of work before we present the financials. So really important to sit down, celebrate the candidacy, and allow them to interject. And if they don't interject and you're looking at them and you can see a little bit of hesitancy, then work on getting that out of them, right? Ask them a question. You want to make sure that there's nothing holding them back on the treatment itself. Remember, if they're not certain of the treatment or they're not certain of the doctor, you know, it doesn't matter what the financials are, right? They're just not sure about that treatment. They're not going to buy it, and it doesn't matter about the money. So always make sure we allow for those interjections.
Assistants might know a little bit more on that.
Because I know, like, you know, they estimate, like, dentures, they say, oh, what, 5, 7, 8
Yeah.
years.
I mean, I can tell you that the zirconia is what crowns are made out of.
Sure.
The only thing that really fails a crown is decay, which you won't even have to worry about decay with these because you don't have your natural teeth. Really, the only thing that fails implants is not enough bone. And I mean, doctor
then
made it clear
repair.
that, that it was, the
Keep in
bone was
mind when
not
they
an
ask
issue,
that, it
so.
gives you guys a good opportunity to kind of reinforce how important hygiene is going to be, right? And that it's going to, how long it's going to last is going to be a combination of the way that it's engineered at time of surgery, and how well it's cared for, right? And you always want to answer with as much certainty as you can. So those are questions that you want to make sure that you rehearse, and we want to try to stay away from terminology like, on a question like that, right? Like how long should this last? I want to stay away from terminology kind of like, well, I'm not really sure, but probably for the right. What is it? It just shows uncertainty, right? A little bit of lack of confidence in the response. It doesn't instill confidence in the patient. You know what I mean? So you can absolutely say, hey, this is over-engineered. We're using the best materials that you can possibly get here. So we over-engineer it in efforts to where you don't have to do it again, to where it can last for the rest of your life. But that is going to be contingent also on how you care for it. Just because it's putting new teeth doesn't mean, right, that you can't get peri-implantitis. It doesn't mean that you can't get gum disease around the implants. It doesn't mean that you can't have big problems if you're not coming back in for your maintenance. It absolutely needs to be cared for if you want it to last as long as possible. And it's a really good time to rehash that. And I think that's a really good, honest way to answer the question. You certainly don't want to kind of dig yourself a hole and act like this thing's going to last forever, period. Right? They definitely need to know that they need to take care of it and maintain it also. And the most important thing is how you answer it, full confidence so that they feel good. When we're in situations of influence, like I said, in Las Vegas, it's mirror and matching the patient to get in rapport. But once we get into the sales process, we're pacing and leading. So that patient's going to mirror and match us. If I'm confident and I'm speaking with certainty, right, the patient is going to feel confident and certain. If I speak with no confidence and I'm uncertain and I'm unsure of what I'm talking about, the patient is going to be unsure. So they're going to take their cues from you.
Those are all the good things. They really are.
All right, so this is going to be a little bit probably confusing to you. I'm going to move this stuff here. So since we do participate with this all over with Delta, like I said, I do have to put everything in and run the prior, we call it, to
Right.
Delta. They can give us up to 30 days to tell you what they're going to pay
And
for.
then their adjuster takes time to go through all these different procedures. I understand.
Yes, so there's that. Now, I only put the 4 implants on the upper and 4 implants on the lower in the treatment. Doctor does plan to do 6
Right.
on upper and lower. We just don't charge for 6. He just kind of does it as
Yes, you need.
complimentary. Yeah. Yep. So then
All
with
right,
that
what
being
just happened
said,
right there?
this
We just gave a discount without what? Without showing that it's a discount. You know what I mean? So what she just said, it's going to go in one ear and right out the other. They're not going to remember it, right? They're going to hear the price, and the price is the price. They're going to look at it like a retail price when, in reality, right? They're getting 6 implants and paying for 4. So that's a third off right there. I would much rather see the full price, right? That's the whole point of the bundle. It's the whole point of having the bundles done ahead of time, right? You got the full price of what the treatment is, and we go through the whole price, and then, right, then we take it off. so that the patient sees that they're getting a lot of value. If you give a discount without showing it on paper, it doesn't help you at all.
This on here is what our best estimate is, that what your treatment would be. Now, I'm not sure why this is saying 1,183, because you do have 1,500 for insurance. And so typically what we do with Delta is, so if you didn't have Delta, we do this in a bundle. And the price of the bundle is $35,000. With Delta, since we participate with them, we try to get it as close to $35,000 as possible. So that's something that, you know, Lori will submit. You haven't met Lori yet. She's up front. She'll submit it to them and work with them to bring it down to the $35,000 price. But this is going to be kind of what you're looking at, is $35,000-ish.
That's almost 37-ish. So what?
Well, they're gonna round it up to that. That's the ballpark figure that they're working with. And there might be some things that take it even under that. There might be some things that take it over that. But that's the figure that they're working with right now in terms of a base figure.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you an exact answer, but with Delta, they don't do that.
Exactly.
So
I understand.
we know how insurance companies are.
Right.
But if you,
So what are we looking at in terms of the financing capabilities here, what we need down to get this thing?
so typically, we have patients pay for it up front. We have had it where doctor is willing to kind of split up, like let's say for your surgery day, you know, you put down $20,000 for the surgery day. Then when we start the final delivery process, is when, you know, you can put down the rest. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we have split it up in ways like that.
All right. So a couple things here. Number one, with that whole insurance thing, okay? If you guys are participating with insurance and you're like they are for Delta, you guys are selling a full arch, it's not going to be your first full arch. If you know you're going to get them somewhere close, just present the price of the bundle. Present the price of the bundle and then go back and forth with the insurance company later in terms of what the exact price is going to be, and then reimburse the patient the balance if you need to, right? We have to make this simple. The more problems or obstacles that we create, or I don't want to say problems or obstacles, confusions, right? Like points of uncertainty, you know what I mean? Like right now, they don't know what the price is. That's never a great thing, right? We're not, hey, this is the price. We're going to work it out with your insurance company later, right? We work with Delta all the time. We participate with them. We can get the fees as close as we possibly can. You know, in the event that it's more, we'll just balance, you know, we'll just refund you, right? Whatever the difference is. You know, if they pay maybe a little bit more, whatever the case may be, we'll just refund you whatever the difference is, but we'll work it out with them. But this is about what you're looking at here. You're going to be looking at boom, boom, boom. Okay. We want to give them the price, deal with the insurance later. Dealing with it in front of them poses a real challenge. And there are some people that will not move forward at all until they know the exact price. Although we're only talking about a possible spread of maybe $1,000 to $1,500 here, you know, over whatever, 30, 35, is that what it was? 37,000. That's number one. Number two, and ask, all right, what's the deal with like the financing? Remember, these guys came in pre-approved. Okay, so they were pre-approved with Proceed for 24, right? Yes. Yeah. So they were pre-approved for Proceed for 24. So if they're pre-approved for 24, if they want to use the 24, just pay the balance, right? Super easy, right? You pay 13,000, right? Finance the rest. It's just a matter of how long you want to finance it for, and you're done. And I can get this done in a couple of minutes. That's it. Like it has to be easy, easy, easy. The more options we give them, the worse off. First off, it's going to take significantly longer, right? when we're putting everything in their hands. Secondly, you're going to make them think a lot harder, which isn't good. and third, we could risk overwhelming the patient, right? Almost giving them too many options, too many things to think about. And then they're looking at it going, you know what, let's kind of like take a second here and just kind of regroup and digest all this and figure out, that'll give them time. Then they can figure out what the insurance is going to pay, what they're not going to pay. We'll figure out the financing, how much we want to put down. They're saying they need 20% down. We'll just give me a day to figure all this out. And it's like, oh my gosh, that didn't happen here, but it can definitely happen super easy in a situation like this.
I know that you guys got approved for the proceed, and it looks like for $24,112 up to that amount. So we can also work with this if you'd like.
Guys, if you have somebody that comes in pre-approved with a second opinion and they're pre-approved for 24, I'm going to show them that bundle, right? If that bundle's coming down to 37, I'm going to show them the bundle. It's a double arch. It's $52,000 and it includes everything. All your maintenance, it includes the provisionals, it includes zirconia bridge, it includes 6 implants, this, spike guard, blah, 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 warranty, everything, right? I'm going to show them this is $52,000. Now, because of the volume that we do and because of the scale of the practice or the in-house lab or whatever the deal is, right? We've been able to save a substantial amount of money on cost. And what we're going to do is pass that cost savings on to you, right? So the 52, right? Or the 50 is not the 50 anymore. Okay. The 50, I'm going to show you exactly what you get included for free at no additional charge when you move forward. Then we start crossing things off the bundle, bring the 50 down to the 37. Okay. 50 down to 37. So it ends up being about a $13,000 discount right off the bat. Right. So you're at 37 and then I would put minus 24 because you're already approved. Leaves a cash balance of 13. Underline, done, easy. How would you like to pay for that? You know what I'm saying? Right? Like forget all the rest of it. You have to have it clear in your mind how we're going to close, and you got to know the numbers like this. You got to know that, and you can't sweat stuff like a couple $100 either way, right? Say the insurance doesn't pan out the way that we want. We lose $1,000, whatever. We lost $1,000. You know what I mean? They're still paying 13 grand down. They got proceed. You've got $1,000 room negotiating, bargaining room anyways in a case like that. So the most important thing is to have it clear. But if I have financing, right, I'm putting it on there. I'm going to subtract it from the total of the bottom of the bundle and then leave them with a cash fee. Because I want to see if they can pay the cash, because I know that's my biggest hurdle. It's not necessarily what type of payment they want, because they're going to have options. They're already approved, but they're only approved for 24. So what I have to do now is close on 13 and see if they have it. If they don't have it, right, then I've got to come up with something. Then we have to start troubleshooting that. If they do have it, then I'm going to close right now and see how I can get the 13, and then we'll deal with the payments. Right? Why even go into the payments? Who cares what payment if they don't have the 13? What does it matter? You know what I mean? They don't have so deduct that right from the bottom of the bundle.
So let's say you do pay the 20,000 cash, and then you want to finance the rest. I can type in here like 15,000, and you can see what your monthly payments would be.
Let's see what we got.
There's so many different options and ways to do this. So.
And you got to know your numbers like this, right? 20,000 and 20,000 cash out of 37 is not 20%, what she said, right? Usually we put 20% down now, the rest later, whatever that was. It's not even close to 20%. It's like 45%.
My computer has been really slow this whole time. I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. So for 15,000 for this, for 60 months, interest rate, it can be $372.71. For 48 months, it's $432.75. 36 months, it's $534.72.
Basically like financing a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, instead of, we can just use the payment you've been saving and just do that and just use that, pay that instead of, because it charges you more interest.
See this? You get caught in the weeds. This is already, it's kind of a miracle we closed it, right? Because there's like some landmines that we stepped in here. We stepped in the insurance landmine, right? Gave uncertainty regarding the price. Now we're stepping in financing, interest payments, landmine, and we haven't even closed on the treatment yet, right? We haven't even closed. I don't even know if they have the cash right now. So, if they don't have the cash, all of this could change. The whole treatment could change. We might have to change it from a double arch down to a single arch if they don't have the cash, and then redo all of this all over again. So you want to make sure that again, that's the whole point of the sales process, is to move through the close and move through the dialogue as efficiently as possible, and try not to spend your time in areas that don't impact the close. Specifically areas that can create confusion or uncertainty.
Interest over
Right.
5 years.
Right.
Even if we did that, Bruce.
Yeah, and there's no, you can pay this off early too, and there's no
There's no penalty fee, but you have to pay all the interest.
Right, this is just a simple flat interest loan.
Yeah, you have to pay. Once you sign, you don't get any break if you pay early with the interest. You have to pay all the interest.
There is a break on that.
No, I read this. They make you pay all the interest, even if you pay early. That's what this does.
Well, then you're better off to go for,
The least amount of time, wouldn't it?
no, you're actually better off to go for a longer time from a standpoint of money.
Because
How your money actually works. Look at your interest rates here.
it's the same.
Exactly. So why not extend it the amount of time there?
So right, these things can get crazy. Okay. When all of a sudden what's happened is she's lost control of the dialogue, completely lost control of the dialogue, where the patients are kind of going back and forth, arguing a point, of, is there a prepayment penalty? Is there not a prepayment penalty? We pay all the interest. Yes, I think I read it. Oh no, it's like this. Man, we want to definitely know the financing well enough to where if there is any point of confusion, you can stop them real quick and clear it up, and then direct them to where they need to be. You know what I mean? Bottom line is they've got approved. We're going to be able to have a low affordable monthly payment, but we still haven't gotten to the bottom line to find out if they have the cash to put down today, because they didn't get fully financed.
It's the same interest rate. So the interest is compounded differently. That's all they're telling you. It's the same amount of money that they're going to earn in terms of profit potential. So they're the ones that are taking the biggest risk here. I mean, what are they going to do? Go after my teeth?
And also, let's say that you guys did want to do it in full. If there's any, if with the insurance, if there is any reimbursement or anything like that, we would reimburse you guys. So let's say you did pay the full almost 38 or 39 and you wanted just to, get this really going. We could do that, and once we send it to the insurance, we get exactly what they're going to pay for, and there is a reimbursement, we could reimburse you guys. You guys could put it straight towards proceed finance.
Right. I don't have the entire amount available right now, but there is money that's on.
They typically don't apply for financing. I'm not going to say every time, but they typically don't apply for financing if they plan on paying in cash, right? So they applied for a reason, they got approved. So they're probably not going to pay in cash when that happens. But also, you guys, I want you to really pay attention to this, because I see this on a lot of videos, and this is where you got to watch your videos and listen to your delivery when you're speaking. You guys have to be able to grab that dialogue, right, by the neck and control it, right, and move the conversation where you need it to be. And you can only do that by really knowing your stuff, and by using a tone of certainty and enthusiasm, right? So you have to really be sharp with this stuff. If you start talking about numbers, if you're one of those people where, like, there's some people that just say, hey, you know, I'm not really good with numbers. Well, you need to get good with numbers, right? Especially on your full arch products, right? The numbers are the numbers. And if that means you got to take, you know, 5 or 10 minutes before you come back in the room to make sure that you get straight on all of the numbers, do that so that you guys have it like this. You want to be sharp, you know, and you want to try to make sure, if you watch a video back, like the coaching I would give here is, she just doesn't sound sure about a whole lot. You know what I mean? She doesn't sound confident about a whole lot. She's got 2 people that are really motivated right now. That's what she's got in her favor. But this is the part where you guys want to watch, and, you know, you can't see these things when you're doing it. You have to watch it later, you know, your mannerisms and your tone and how you sound. And, you know, when you answer questions, did you answer the question with conviction? Are you pacing and leading? Are you controlling the dialogue? Or is the dialogue kind of all out here? You know what I mean? You really want to pay attention to that on the sales calls. That's some of the stuff. I mean, when I watch myself, whether it's speaking or I watch one of these videos back, those are some of the things that you look at in different parts of the lecture or the training, just to kind of critique yourself. So make sure that you guys pay attention to the videos in terms of how you sound. How certain do you sound? When you sound certain, they're not going to worry. They're just going to go, okay, that makes sense. They're just going to follow you, right? And you're going to direct them right down the line. It's going to be efficient. They're going to be happy. They're going to feel like the whole thing was easy. It was no problem. And you're the best person ever, right? You just made it super easy. If not, they're going to start sidebars, talking about this or that, and it can just really get scary.
Okay, you're talking cash, right?
Right.
Okay, so how much cash do you have to put towards this, or that you would want to put towards this?
At least $15,000 right now,
Okay,
at least.
okay,
I might have a little bit more than that, but $15,000.
15 does it, because we started at 35-ish, then we went to 37, then I heard her say 39, right? So we've kind of moved from 35-ish to 39. I thought it was 37, which is 13, 39, 15, right? So again, if we had the bundle, went down, right? Less than 24, leaves a cash balance of 15. How would you like to pay for that? Hey, I've got that in cash. No problem. All right, cool. When can we get you scheduled? Bam, it's like done. And then the whole conversation is just about how you're going to get the 15. But still, you're still going to run them. They're still going to sign for the treatment. You're still collecting 24,000. They're going to bring the 15 with the cashier's check. Like, done, easy. Easy, easy.
Guaranteed right now, ready to go.
okay. So let's say that it was, let me see. And I'm sorry, with Delta Dental, I wish, you know, if you didn't have Delta, you could come in here, we could give you an exact number. But unfortunately with Delta, we participate with them, which is a good thing because it does bring down your fees.
If you participate with insurance, it's your problem. Don't make it their problem, right? Ballpark it, and then you guys figure it out, right? And if that means that you lose a little bit later, it doesn't matter, right? But that is like such a good way to get a patient to wait. Such a good way, right? Over nothing. You know what I mean? And maybe if it's like, maybe it's your first time, dealing with that insurance, but if you've been participating with Delta, you're going to have a good idea of what they're going to do, what they're going to pay, how that's going to pan out with full arch fixed. Full arch fixed is pretty much the same way every single time. So you should have a really good idea, and really make it easy on the patient. You guys deal with that stuff later.
There's a question.
There is a little bit.
There's a question in the chat.
I don't see any. Got it. Sorry, we got a quick question here. Yeah. So when the patient's arguing back and forth regarding having to pay the full finance fully, even if prepaid, should she have jumped in and said, there's no prepayment penalty? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So it's exactly what I would have done. I would have just put him to ease and just kind of corrected that situation for him. And guys, if you ever run into a situation where you're not sure, right, then you want to make a phone call to proceed right after, you know what I mean, and learn. Because there can be, with finance, there can just be some goofy situations sometimes, and you might not always be sure, but that's where like your critical thinking has got to kick in. And you're like, okay, I don't know this and this, but how about this? Let's go here, do it this way for right now. I'll do the back end work on that. If that changes anything, I'll just come in and retro change it for you. Right? But it's not going to be much either way. I'll take care of that stuff. Don't worry about it. Let's get this done here. And you just have to be able to redirect them and make it easy and make them feel good that you're going to take care of it.
Waiting period.
Okay. Is there another insurance company that I should go for?
No, I mean, your insurance is only going to pay up to the yearly amount.
Right.
So the 1,500 would be the amount put towards for the year. We don't participate with other insurance companies but Delta, so it really is a benefit to you.
Okay. So I got the right company.
Yes.
Good.
All right. So
Guys, if you're participating, it's like the patient's getting even more of a discount usually, right? So if, let's say the bundle for double arch, let's say it's $50,000, and you would normally reduce that down, let's say to 40,000. And if they were participating with Delta Dental, maybe those fees are a little bit lower than what you're used to paying, right? That's an added benefit. So you say, look, it's $10,000 off here because we have the in-house lab and everything else. And you're also going to have another added benefit because we're a Delta Dental provider. And that's going to save you about $3,000 off treatment, right? Or $1,500 or $4,000, or about whatever the difference is between your retail fees and the provider fees, right? That they mandate. And you guys should have that kind of figured out ahead of time. That'll make it easy. And then that's just an additional benefit that they have. Then subtract the amount that they're financed for, and then whatever they're left for cash, that's what you close. But no matter what, even if they have to get that, even if they don't have the money right now, they don't have a check or a credit card right now, if they have to go get it, it doesn't matter. I'm closing with 24,000 today, right? So when you say like, we usually need 20% down. You already have more than 20% approved for $20. This is done, like fried chicken done.
And I just did the highest number here that it says is 38,100, which I don't think it's going to be that price, but I can't guarantee it, unfortunately.
Exactly
Yeah.
what this procedure is.
Yeah. So then if you minus the 15,000 cash that you would pay, it would bring it to the 1,100. Now this is without any of the 1,500 insurance that you guys would get too. Like I said, you know, if you wanted to get started on this probably sooner, it would be a little bit more upfront, and then you could take the reimbursement and put it towards the proceed finance if that's what you guys
Okay.
Oh, I
choose to
just
do.
want to point one thing out too. The way that this close is going right here, you can tell when she was in the first 10, the first 10 went really well, and she sold this like crazy. I mean, these people, they have complete buy-in, complete urgency. They're like ready to go. So even if you run into some snags sometimes in the second or the third 10, if you can gain their trust in the first 10 and do a really, really good job kind of creating that vision, listening to the patients, sometimes emotionally, they're just already there. There's just little things here that just kind of run the timeout. You know what I mean? Like 1 minute turns to 5, 5 turns to 10, 10 turns to 20 type of a thing, where we could have probably been finished with this. But I just wanted to point that out, you know, that had the first 10 not gone well, I'm not sure that we would have gotten this done. And this is a deal that she was able to close here. So it just shows you how far you can get when you build a good relationship right off the bat with the patient.
So then let's do this. Let's see what.
Well, it's gonna take you a little while to figure all this stuff out real quick, isn't it? In terms of the financing, the schedules, the amortization, right? The way that it's gonna be set up for the payments.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll talk to you in the next couple of days and you'll know more.
Yeah, I should know more.
But we're guaranteed for the 15 right now,
Yes.
the way that goes. So I think we can count as let's do this,
Okay.
okay?
So let me go talk to Doctor and kind of let him know what we came up with, and see if he has anything else to suggest or anything.
Okay.
And we will go from there, like you said. Okay.
Thanks.
Dottie asked a
Yeah.
good question. She asked if they're approved under another office, can we accept it? No, but what you can say is that they're approved, and then you've got to rerun them, right? So that the loan is under your practice. So you just rerun it right through your system. 1 second. I don't want to miss this last part here.
Well, it's gonna take you a little while to figure all this stuff out real quick, isn't it? In terms of the financing, the schedules, the amortization, right? The way that it's gonna be set up for the payments.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll talk to you in the next couple of days and you'll know more.
Yeah, I should know more.
But we're guaranteed for the 15 right now,
Yes.
the way that goes. So I think we can count as let's do this,
Okay.
okay?
So let me go talk to Doctor and kind of let him know what we came up with, and see if he has anything else to suggest or anything.
Okay.
And we will go from there, like you said. Okay.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Okay,
Yeah.
so look, Jenna gets it done right here, and they get the patient closed. There's some things I think while after Dr. Connolly left the room, we know what we're going to pitch. We know they're pre-qualified for 24,000. There's some things that we can do, figuring out how to get everything into the bundle to make it easy to kind of bypass the insurance issues, rerun them through Proceed, make sure that it comes back good, and then just go ahead and go right through the close. Because like I said, I mean, she did such a good job in the first 10. They did a good job in the second 10. But this happens sometimes when variables start to get thrown in. Like she said, Jenna said, hey, you know, if you were out of network, right, I would just show you a bundle and we would kind of be done, you know, but whether they're in network or out of network, we have to try to provide the same experience for every single patient, and you want to try to close with the same amount of efficiency. So it might just require a little bit more prep work up front, but we want to try to make sure that as much as we can, the close is really consistent, right? That way you come in, it's the same thing. Come in, celebrate candidacy. Awesome, you're a candidate. So great. How do you feel? How do you feel about the doctor? Blah, 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 blah. Great. Let me show you. Here's what we're going to do first, second, and third. First visit's this, second visit's this, third visit's this, right? Now let's go into some of the numbers and I'll show you how much this is going to cost, right? You grab the bundle, you go through, boom, 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 boom. You show them retail MSRP, show them less the discount. So we're taking the first step in a negotiation. Okay. They feel really, really good about the deal. We say you're already pre-approved for financing. So let's go ahead and reduce that down. Leaves you with a cash balance due of 13 grand, 15 grand, whatever it is. So this is going to be super easy and I can get you scheduled probably within the next couple weeks. Maybe even next week. I'll try to move some stuff around, but how do you want to pay for the cash balance? And then you just go right in for the close, right? Because if they have no money for the cash, well, now we have a problem that we have to solve. Whether we're going to accept installments for it, you know, or whether we're going to change something. Makes sense? And that's like a straight line, man. It's like this. It just takes a little bit of practice. And anytime, you know, you can feel it. You can feel the energy when you're closing and all of a sudden something comes up, like a curveball comes in and you're like, man, that's kind of weird. And it throws the close off a little bit. And then all of a sudden another one comes in and another one comes in and you just start to lose the energy and it starts to just kind of get a little bit confusing. And a good rule of thumb, if it starts to get confusing for you guys, it's super confusing for them. So anytime you feel it starting to get that way, anything we can do to say, you know what? Let's table this for right now. At the most, whatever the insurance is going to be, it could be plus or minus $1,000, right? But listen, if it goes over $1,000 over what I'm telling you, I'll talk to the doctor and I'll just write it off, right? If it's 1,000 under, then we'll just reimburse you, right? Just to make, I'll deal with that later. You know what I mean? We're going to call Delta. We'll figure that out, but don't worry. I'll make sure that there's no overage so you're not getting balance billed. Does that sound fair enough? Okay, cool. Let's move right on to this. Bam. And you just figure out a way to triage those problems and make something that could cause an issue, make that go away, you know? Because right now it's like, man, there's 37,000 and this is a done deal for all practical purposes. They're already approved for 2/3 of the total. So, I mean, this is 37,000 that could be, and we see it all the time. You know, Jenna got them here, so they closed, so it all worked. But I've seen them to where it was a $35,000, $45,000, $55,000, $65,000 deal because of the insurance or because of the interest on the finance. We didn't close them, we lost them, right? So if they have a problem with the insurance and the insurance max is $1,500 or $2,000, what do? No problem. How about this? I'll deal with the insurance. I'll get you back whatever it's going to be. I can't say exactly what it's going to be, but how about this? I'll go ahead and pay you the insurance right now and let's just take $1,500 off the top, because you can't put $37,000 or $50,000 in jeopardy over $1,500, right? It costs you more than $1,500 in marketing to get them closed. Again, somebody else. You're already out that money, right? And then you're not even guaranteed it's going to close. So you're already out, right? Same thing with interest. If they don't like the interest rate, they think the interest rate is too high, ask them what kind of interest rate they were anticipating. What interest rate would they like it to be? Well, it's at 12. I would love it if it was at 7. You know what I mean? Okay, great. Listen, how about we do this? It's at 12. You want to be at 7. How about I just pay 3% of the interest rate right up front? I'll just take 3% off the total, get you down to 9, right? A little bit from our side, a little bit from your side. And then you don't have to look anywhere else. You're already approved. It's on stated income. There's no papers. You don't have to go to the bank, no tax returns, just easy. And I'll just take care of 3% of the interest. Does that sound reasonable? Let's do that. Yeah, make it easy. Gotcha. Here, bam, right off the total. Done. Right? So that's where the practice here, and what will really help you guys is watching the videos. Any snags that you see, always think, hey, what could I have done to smooth that out? And that's the whole goal of videotaping it, is just to make sure that we're continuously streamlining it. Any snags in the process, any part that becomes a bit clunky, anytime you get hit with a question where you may not answer it with a high degree of certainty, those are all areas that we got to practice and smooth out, right? Because you can take something that's done in an hour and a half, we got it closed, but I guarantee you, Jenna can close that in 30 minutes. She can close that in 30 minutes for sure. There was just a couple curveballs here that kind of threw the tempo off. Okay. Did anybody have any questions in regards to this? Does it all make sense? Have you guys had any of the issues with insurance or interest or anything like that that's forced you to go away from the bundles?
Bart, we had two cases. This is Lisa from Pennsylvania. They actually got accepted through Proceed, and then they didn't like the interest rates at all. And I was explaining, like you did, that these are non-conventional loans. You're not going to get the same interest as a home. So they left, and then they decided to go and get an equity loan through their homes, which takes a couple weeks sometimes to come through. So both cases, one of them just called me back. He said, my home equity is approved. I'm following through, but I had to wait to see if it was really closed or not, because it took a lot longer.
That's why after you explain, right, that it's an uncollateralized loan, right? It's off stated income, no papers, no collateral. They're going to be higher. After you say that, saying, all that being said, what type of interest rate were you looking for? What type of interest rate do you want? Right now you're at 10 or 12 or whatever it is. So what kind of interest rate on something that's uncollateralized, right? That's on stated income. What kind of interest rate would you want? There may be something I can do to help and just save you a bunch of time and energy of running around town trying to get a loan, and see what they say. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they're at 10 and they're like, well, I would really like something like 6. So we're talking a 4% difference here. Right? So a lot of times I might take 2% or 3% right off the top, meet them in the middle, and then I'll tell them, listen, I'll take this top, meet in the middle at 6. That way you're happy. You don't have to run around town. But also, if you do still want to go to your bank and look at a loan, there's no prepayment penalty. So you can always get this done now. I'll get you scheduled. You're taken care of. And if you happen to go to the bank and get another a different type of a loan with a lower interest rate, just take the loan out, pay the balance, and you're good. But I'll just pay this right now and take it right off the principal and just save you the headache, right? That'll be easier. Let's do that. That's it. Watch how many of them just go, okay, that's fair. What are they going to say? It's not fair. I'm saving you time and I'm giving you what you want. You just need to know how far apart you are on the interest rate, right? If you're 14 and they want to be at 3, then, right, I have to kind of make sure that I do a little bit better job explaining that 3% on this type of a loan isn't something that is ever going to happen, right? That a really good rate here, right? 7% is a good rate. 6% is a good rate. I mean, 3%, so it's like, 2%. I mean, come on. So, right, somewhere around 6, 7, and then still try to make a deal and still tell them you can still go to your bank and pay it off with no penalty. But I'm doing everything I can do to try to get a commitment from them right then. So try that next time, Lisa. Try asking them, what type of interest rate do you want? And then try negotiating there.
Thanks. I forgot about that one. Thank you.
No problem. Remember, interest, insurance, they're all money objections. And we handle all the money objections the exact same way. Oh, that's too expensive. Really? Is it more than you thought? Well, tell me, what were you thinking? That interest is too high. Oh, really? It's more than you thought? Well, tell me what you were thinking. Right? It's all the same stuff, right? So we always want to know if they think it's too high. I want to know what they don't think is high enough so that I have an anchor to start negotiating. Then I can negotiate, and it's got to be when you negotiate. I want to see some videos of this, guys. I want to see like this happening on camera in the negotiation, because if you do it the right way, you have full certainty. Watch how many of them just go, okay, well, let's just do that. And it's just done. Right? If it goes awry, right? Like we say, well, you know, I know you think the interest rate's a little high, right? And you want to be at 6%. Well, you're at 12. Would it work if maybe I could go down to like 8%? Would that work? Right? That doesn't work. It's like, look, how about we just do this, right? You want to be at 7, right? You're at 12 right now. I agree. It's a little high. How about we do this? I'll save you a bunch of time. You don't have to run all over town. How about this? I'll just take 3% right off the total, take it down to 9, right? That way, a little bit from me, a little bit from you, we'll get this thing done. And I'll just take that right off the principal and pay that part of the interest for you right now. Sound fair? Let's go ahead and do that. That'll be easier. Boom. That has the like really, that's where you're going to practice. You know, any type of uncertainty, I don't want to ask them a question. I just want to tell them, I got an idea. This is going to be easy. Let's do this. Boom. And it's an assumptive close. And watch what they do. They're going to follow you just like they follow you in the entire sales process. That's called pacing and leading. That's how you do it. You can't do it with uncertainty though. So any of you guys that may be a little bit uncertain about financial instruments, different types of solutions like this, that's just an area that you want to practice and get better, right? So that you can speak with certainty. You don't know a whole lot about home equity loans and how long it takes to get them. You want to learn that. You know, so you can tell them, well, listen, this was like 2-3 weeks to get it. You got to go this. Maybe what I can do is save you a bunch of time and energy right now, right? How about I just pay 4% of the interest rate for you? I'll just take it right off the principal. You don't have to mess with this. Let's just do that. Doctor might kill me, but I'm just going to make this easy. Okay, here we go. Bam. Does that make sense? That's just practice. Okay, cool. Anyone else have any other questions? Anything that was kind of stumping you guys this week?
If you say that, have you already presented the 25, or I'm a little confused? You say that before you present, say that the bundle, that you're going to give them the percentage off?
Yeah, this is after we've already presented the bundle, already presented the price, the whole 9 yards, right? Because if I haven't presented the price, why am I talking about financing?
Yeah, so say it's 14.99% of 25,000, then you're telling us to take a percentage off of that above and beyond what they're going to pay. In other words, if it's $2,000 off, you know, whatever percentage it was, just for simple math, then you're going to close on 23 instead of 25.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Just need a little clarification. Sorry.
Yep, exactly. So what you're doing is just kind of giving a discount so that they feel good about the price and the interest rate. And now you don't have a $37,000 liability that you're like praying to God calls you back, right? That got approved. So, and that's worth it. That's within the range, right? If they need something like 10% or something insane, you know, that's too much. That's where you have to negotiate with them a little bit. And you won't get everybody, but if you do it with an assumptive tone, it's going to be hard. Again, like how many people are going to go through the time, the effort to get tax returns, go to the bank, fill out the paperwork, jump through all those hoops for 2%? Not very many, right? For 10%, you know, 10% of 60,000 that's real money there. You know what I mean? But would they do it for 3%? Would they do it for $3,000? Go do all that stuff for 3? I don't know. That's borderline. You know what I mean? So, and even if they would, they can still go do all that and lose nothing because there's no prepayment penalty. You're just allowing them to get this thing done now. And then they still have all of those options are still available to them. But you got to know it like this. You have to know it like that, right? Too much time goes by and I promise you they'll look and they'll say, you know what, kind of let me think about it. I want to call my bank. You know, my sister's a banker or something. Who knows, right? You hear it all. You guys know that. Cool. Any other questions, guys? No? Okay, good. I hope that was helpful. Hey, any of you guys that haven't signed up for the power sessions, make sure that you get signed up. We've got a good one coming up this Friday here in Clearwater. And make sure, oh, another thing, right? When you guys are recording the videos, use your mic. Use your mic. The audio has been really, really poor the last several videos that I've listened to. It's really hard to hear, or the voice, the volume, the tone of the voice is like popping in the mic. Super, super difficult. So make sure that you're using the separate mic. The audio is the most important. Okay. So if you're still using like the computer audio or whatever, it's a long ways away from where you're speaking. You guys got to fix that, because there's some videos that are sent in that I mean, we can like barely hear them. Okay. So make sure that you're using the third party microphone. And if for some reason you don't have it, you have questions on it, just email your account manager and we'll help you guys get set up with it. All right. I won't take up any more of your time. You guys go close something, make some money. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm trying to